Let's start here and talk about what a mutation is. Whenever we are talking about a mutation, what are we actually referring to? Okay. So when we talk about a mutation, it is a sudden change in the genetic composition of an organism. Okay. We say that is a what? That is a sudden change. So we have got a sudden change in the genetic composition of an organism. The genetic composition of an organism, we can be referring to a gene, or we can be referring to the chromosome itself and how the genes are arranged. Okay, so it can happen that your genes can just change their arrangements suddenly, all of a sudden. Okay, so mutations is something that happens randomly in you. Your gene structure just changes. Okay, so basically we have got two types of mutations to consider here. We have got a gene mutation, so we've got a gene mutation as well as a chromosomal mutation, right? So the gene mutation happens when there is a change in the sequence of the nitrogenous bases or the nucleotides in DNA. Remember, guys, we already talked about this one in term 1. We talked about mutations. We say that a mutation or a gene mutation is basically when there is a change in the sequence of the nitrogenous bases or the nucleotides in the DNA. For example, if it happens that the sequence of your nitrogenous bases is supposed to be C80, let me just say the sequence of your nitrogenous bases in a DNA molecule is supposed to be C80. That is like cytosine, adenine, and thymine. And then there is a sudden change. Let's just say there's another nitrogenous base that will replace this A. And then you end up maybe having something like CGT. So this is a gene mutation, is an example of a gene mutation whereby there is a change in the sequence of the nitrogenous bases. Okay, so that's known as a gene mutation. So this change affects a lot because it actually results in the formation of proteins that are different from the ones that are supposed to be formed. For example, your cells right now, they are producing proteins to be able to maintain your hair, to be able to maintain your eyes, to be able to maintain the features in your body. But if a gene mutation occurs, then it means that they will no longer be able to make those proteins. Okay, so basically gene mutations, they do have a real effect on us. We also have got a chromosomal mutation whereby there is a change. So it is all about a change. There is a change in the normal structure or in the number of chromosomes. So it can happen that the normal structure of your chromosome changes. Okay, if the chromosome is supposed to look like this, remember this chromosome, it is coding for particular characteristics in your body. So let's just say this is the normal shape of a chromosome, and then it happens that the chromosome now changes shape into maybe something like this. Let's just say now your chromosome changes shape to something like this. Okay, so this is a chromosomal mutation. Okay, this is a chromosomal mutation because basically the structure of the chromosome has changed. Okay, it's not all about the structure alone. It can also happen that a chromosome can get deleted. Okay, or a chromosome can just stop working in a sense. Okay, so basically when there's a change in the normal structure of the chromosome, or when there's a change in the number of the chromosome, or a change that is not acceptable, then you have a chromosomal mutation. The other name for a chromosomal mutation, you can say it is a chromosomal aberration. So when you see chromosomal mutation or you see chromosomal aberration, they are still referring to one and the same thing. But mutations are all about a sudden change in the genetic composition. But if it's a gene mutation, there is a change in the sequence of the nitrogenous bases. For example, when the DNA base triplet C80 changes to CGT. We talked about mutations, gene mutations in term 1 already. But in chromosomal mutation, it can happen that your chromosome can just change its structure from being a normal structure to being something else that is not so normal. Okay? So now, we need to just look at an example. For example, this is a normal gene, okay? So this is a normal gene that we're having here. So this normal gene, it is supposed to produce some protein. Okay, so this is a written normal gene and it is supposed to produce a normal protein. So we're having a protein here that is being produced. Because remember, guys, all of these genes and these codons and stuff like that that we did in term 1, it is all about making proteins. It's all about protein synthesis. So your body requires certain proteins for it to be maintained. Okay. Your skin, for it to be maintained, it requires certain properties. It's a certain proteins, I mean. Okay. So the genes are the ones that are responsible for producing those proteins. Okay. So if we've got a normal gene, we are going to produce a normal protein. But let's say now that your gene is now mutated, means that your gene has got a mutation now. It simply means that there's been a sudden change that is not understandable. Okay. So if you can look at this carefully in these two images, you can see that a normal gene, it looks like this. It is a normal. But then the mutated gene, it has got this orange-like thing here. I don't know if you guys can see here, but we've got an orange-like shape there. It is no longer the same as it was if it were normal. Okay, so basically a mutated gene, it has undergone a gene mutation. So there's a gene mutation that has happened. So the structure of the gene has changed. Normally, it was supposed to look like this. It was supposed to look like this, grade 12s, but due to certain factors, the structure of the genes have changed. And how did they change? They ended up looking like this, which is not normal anymore. So once the structure of the gene changes, we cannot be able to produce the same normal protein as we used to in a normal gene. Because a normal gene, it has got a structure that is equipped, or a structure that is able to produce this normal protein that we're having here, this normal protein. So the moment we start having this mutation, meaning that the moment we start having a change in the structure of the gene, we are no longer going to be able to produce that normal protein anymore, because our gene is no longer normal, is now mutated. There's been a change in the structure. And we know particularly here that there's been a change in the sequence of the nitrogenous bases. Okay. So now you'll only find out that your mutated gene, it actually produces a protein that is abnormal, or it produces a protein that is not the one that is desired, because each and every cell, or each and every protein that is made, it has a specific and a unique function. So if it happens that you change the structure of the gene that is making the protein, then you're going to make a protein that is not desired. So you can end up making abnormal proteins inside your body, or it can end up not making any protein at all. So there are two possibilities, or there are two things that can happen whenever we have got a gene mutation. Okay, it's either the gene will now produce an unacceptable, or an undesirable, or an abnormal protein, or it will not produce any protein at all. And then let's say, for example, this normal gene was producing a protein to maintain your eyes, okay, or to maintain your eyesight. So the moment the gene is mutated, it means that we do not have the proteins to maintain your eyesight anymore. That's when you start having blurry vision, okay? So all of that is effects from a gene mutation. But we need to know now the examples of gene mutations, okay? So these examples are the ones that are very important for you as grade 12 learners. We talked about hemophilia during our genetics and inheritance lifetime, right? Hemophilia, remember we said that it is the absence of the blood clotting factors. Remember that when you tip, or maybe when you fall and then you start bleeding, your blood is supposed to become thicker and thicker. It is supposed to solidify, and the bleeding should stop on its own. It should stop on its own. But it's recommended that you put a bandage before you lose a lot of blood from your body. But naturally, the body's blood is supposed to clot the moment it gets exposed to the air. All right. So that blood clotting factor, it is something that is essential for us to reduce the amount of bleeding. All right. Whenever you encounter an injury or anything that will stimulate blood from moving from you and stuff like that. Okay, so when you have got hemophilia, remember the hemophilia, it is found on the X chromosome. It's a sex-linked condition. It is found on the X chromosome. The allele that causes hemophilia is found on the X chromosome. So this is an example of a gene mutation. So if it happens that your X chromosome undergoes gene mutation, you can end up having hemophilia and you will not have a blood clotting factor anymore. All right. Even color blindness is one of the examples of gene mutations. Color blindness basically means that you cannot be able to recognize some colors, or you can either end up confusing colors, something like that. All right. So you will end up confusing colors. All right. You cannot be able to see red. You cannot be able to see green. All right. So it's because now inside your eyes, we've got these things known as photoreceptors. We're still going to do the response topic, but basically we've got receptors that are known as photoreceptors, the ones that help you to recognize different colors. But if you do not have those, or if there is a gene mutation that happens and you end up not having those receptors, then it means that you end up becoming colorblind. You cannot be able to differentiate between red and blue. You actually cannot be able to differentiate between different colors. So these are just examples of gene mutations, or these are examples of conditions that are caused by gene mutations. So you can see that gene mutations can be harmful indeed, because if it happens that the gene mutations, they remove an essential part of your body system, then your body is not going to work normally. For example, your body is supposed to sweat whenever it is hot, right? That is a natural phenomenon. Your body is supposed to sweat whenever it is hot. Okay, let us just say there's a gene mutation that now causes your body to not sweat when it is hot. Then what will happen? You're going to overheat. That is the next thing that will happen. So you can see that some gene mutations can be very dangerous. All right, so they can be very dangerous. Then we also have got chromosomal mutations, the one that we did in term 1, which is a Down syndrome. So Down syndrome, basically, you have got an extra copy of chromosome 21 as a result of non-disjunction during meiosis. And this is particularly during anaphase 1. Because remember, guys, that during anaphase 1, the chromosomes, anaphase 1 or anaphase 2, the chromosomes, they may fail to separate, such that you will end up having 3 pairs of chromosome number 21. If you look at this karyotype, you can see that pair number 21, it is having 3 chromosomes. Instead of having a pair of chromosomes, it's now having 3 chromosomes. Like we've got one here, we've got another one here, then we've got another one here. So there are 3 chromosomes now that are being found on pair number 21. That's why we call this trisomy 21, this Down syndrome condition. This is an example of a chromosomal mutation, because basically we are now having an unrealistic number of chromosomes. Remember, guys, the acceptable arrangement of chromosomes on a karyotype, it is in pairs. Chromosomes are supposed to be arranged in pairs, 23 pairs to be precise. Okay, that makes 46 chromosomes of a body cell. But now if it happens that you've got an extra chromosome on a certain pair, then now that is going to be a chromosomal mutation, or you can say it's a chromosomal aberration, because the number of chromosomes that we are finding on your karyotype is not necessarily matching the one of a normal human karyotype, or let's just say the one of the human karyotype that we are used to. So you will end up having conditions such as Down syndrome there. So that is an example of a chromosomal mutation. So basically in Down syndrome, there's an extra chromosome on 21. That is why whenever we explain non-disjunction in meiosis, we say that if we take a gamete that has got an extra pair on 21, and then we fertilize it with a normal gamete, then you are going to get a zygote with 47 chromosomes instead of 46. The extra chromosome is the one that is being found on pair number 21. That is an example of a chromosomal mutation. That is an example of a change in the sequence, or in the normal sequence of a chromosome in this case. Okay, so these are all mutations, guys. You guys should just understand this. All right, these are gene mutations, chromosomal mutations. They can be lethal. That is what we need to know. Let me just add a couple of things here. So mutations have got 2 ways here. So some mutations can be helpful. Okay, some mutations can be helpful. but some of them can be harmful. Okay. So some of them can be helpful, some of them can be harmful. All right. So we can have those mutations whereby the change is actually making other factors that favor you. Okay, let's just say, for example, maybe I don't know which example I can give, but basically it can happen that whatever mutation that happens on your gene, no matter whatever gene mutation that happens to you, will actually produce a protein that will even make you be able to survive more in the world. Okay. Let's just say maybe a gene mutation happens on one of your or on one of your DNA. Okay, a gene mutation occurs on one of your DNA molecules. Then we know that we are going to produce either an abnormal protein or we are not going to produce a protein at all. Right? So if it happens that we produce an abnormal protein, it is not normal, yes, but sometimes you see that that protein can be able to help you. Maybe the protein can be able to help you survive cold weather. And Tina will be wearing jerseys and stuff like that when I don't wear a jersey at all, because you're having a protein that is actually helping you to survive that cold weather. All right. So mutations, they can be helpful, but mutations can also be harmful. Usually the mutations that are harmful, we call them the lethal mutations. We usually use the term lethal mutations because these ones, they can be able to produce proteins that are harmful for your body. All right. So others can produce proteins that are harmful for your body. Some of them, they will not produce proteins at all. For example, in hemophilia, due to a gene mutation, you cannot have a blood clotting factor because your blood must have a blood clotting factor. It must be able to clot whenever you get an injury. It's so that you don't continue bleeding forever and ever and ever and ever. But now, when you've got a gene mutation that removes that blood clotting factor, then it means that's a harmful one because now you will bleed forever and ever and ever. I mean, if someone who has got hemophilia falls down and encounters an injury and they start bleeding, they are likely to bleed for very long, because their blood actually fails to clot. It fails to become thicker and solid. So you'll end up finding that a person will lose a lot of blood and it can be fatal. You find out some of them even pass on due to that. So these are lethal, these are harmful mutations. But some of the mutations, they can help you to even endure more. Some of them, they can be helpful. All right. So mutations, they do not always have to be harmful. Some of them can be helpful. Are we together, Kratos?